Hey everybody, it's Neil from Heavyocity, just here to remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's really easy. Just push the button. It's red, it says subscribe. Press it. Do it. Whoops. Chug. Hey, this is Neil from Heavyocity. I'm back. I'm going to do a demo walkthrough of our new product. It is called NPO3 Synthetic Strings. So the NPO means it is a NOVO pack. It's the third one. The first two were intimate textures and rhythmic textures. Those were smaller ensembles. With this product, we recorded a bunch of classic string synths and machines, modern string synths, and we tracked them through super cool high-end analog gear, getting that fat sound. And then we put it in the NOVO engine, which has the cycle, tweak stuff, and you can do a lot with this. Like, I was super psyched to play with this thing and really experiment with the filters, and I really didn't even use a lot of the presets that we made. I made my own, which was fun, and I'm going to go through that and show you what I did. So let me just play the beginning of this, and then we can talk about all the stuff going on. All right, that's it. That's all I have to say. Just kidding. All right, so let's start at the beginning with the synth stuff. Let's open this up. It is Synth Loop Designer. That doesn't tell us much. That's on channel 4. Let's solo this and see what is going on. So this is a loop. We have loops in this too, which is cool. And these are tuning notes down here, so just kind of following the progression, and then that kind of tails out. Not the most exciting part in the universe. Let's get to the fun stuff. Let's see what we have here. All right. Cool, so let's talk about this a little bit. Let's see, we've got 3 different parts. We've got this boom mellow, this bright string, and our string ensemble. And those 3 are playing. If we go to the main page, we have some modulation happening here, going back and forth, and that is coming from the macro sequencer in the NOVO engine. So it's basically just modulating at a rate of 1/8. Sorry, I'm going blind. Yeah, that's 1/8, and if I click on filter, I'm going to see that what I'm modulating is the actual filter. So that creates some motion and texture in it. If I shut that off, It's a little subtle, but it's doing something. Sweeping. And also to make this kind of feel wider and expand, if you go to, you'd think I'd know where to go to, wouldn't you? If you go to space, you've got delay and reverb. So like I'm using 3/16 as the delay time with a lot of feedback. The width is there, and then reverb I've got cranked up in size. So if we see what this is made of, that's one of the parts. You can hear it echo. Second part, which is the meat of the sound. So that has an envelope to it. If you go to channel 2, you can see it goes, well, and then it quickly dives out. And what carries it is in space on channel 2, I've got, again, a lot of delay and a decent amount of reverb. So here we go. And then it's echo. And then the last channel. So that sound, it's kind of similar in timbre, but it's more of a quieter, almost crescendo. So together. And then at 12, that's where the secondary part comes in. That starts to create some motion. So let's listen to this. All right, we're going to go to 13, and bear with me. I am not a Cubase master of the universe. Spent years on Digital Performer, and Cubase is awesome, but it's taken me a while to get into it. I've gone back and forth between the two, and there's a love-hate thing going on. I mostly love it. Yeah, so this part is creating motion, and let's talk about what I did. Here, I use the Synth Designer. So this is the product, and there's basically, you have modern synths, vintage synths. Let's load one in and we'll show you. It's a 3-channel, and you've got drop-downs where you can load in whatever you want and use these modifier keys to, on the fly, change sounds. It's pretty cool. I do like that, but I prefer, frankly, the Synth Designer because it has the engine in it, this cycle engine. I need more caffeine to get through this. Just kidding. All right, so on the Synth Designer here, again, can't see, it's 307 Stringtronics. It's really just this. The other two parts are purged and muted, which is probably redundant. If you purge it, you don't have to mute it, but I like to go the extra mile on those things, you know. So here we go. So the thing that's making this is cycle, and there are in-depth tutorials for cycle, but I'll try to quickly show you what's going on. I put it on. If it's not on, let's see, that was off. Now it's on. I've got subdivisions of the note, essentially subdivisions being 16ths here, so you end up with this. So I have the attack pretty low. I want to keep that attack in there. And the release pretty short, so makes it a little tighter. It's not making a devastating amount of change when I change that. And then the start is really where it's going to start in this waveform. So I have it kind of what I thought was the sweet spot. And then it's randomizing. So this start is where the actual playhead will start as it plays through. So it's shifting around a bit. So like, let's hear that in the mix. then the second half of this at 20, I just kind of change up what it's doing. So that's coming from, let me back up so you can hear it go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's, again, say that's the B section. We've got another pad. I have it written down as Synth Designer, or Snith Designer, the way I spelled it. Pad Swelling Ocean. So let's see if that's actually what I use, because sometimes I load things in and then I change my mind. So let's listen to this. It looks like it starts around 20. Kind of cool. It's got that old school synth goodness happening. What's happening here is I'm using channels 2 and 3. So this is modulating the filter really fast. If you shut that off, you'll notice the filter no longer moves. So if I turn it on, it's going to follow this modulation ball. And again, these are sounds I loaded in. So there's this sound in the middle, channel 2. With a lot of delay and reverb on it. And then the other sound. All right, so together. Lots of panning going on. I might have a seizure with these headphones on. Just kidding. All right, so what's up next? I don't know. Let's check out the drums real quick here. I'm just using DM307, trying to do a simple drum groove thing. Kind of ticky. It's sticky. And subtle, and then at 12, it's still ticky. And then for the other section, and this is just the cymbals. I basically loaded in separate presets. Like this is one of the Cinetron kits. That's, it's a full kit, but I didn't like the kick and snare for this, so I just used the high stuff. Some kind of echoing. Right, so together you got, and then we'll add in the kick. Pretty subtle. I don't know, it's cool. And that, again, is happening in my third instance of contact with DM307. Right? So let's just put that in perspective. The groove. I think there's a little intro here. Alright, so you get the sense of what's going on there. This again is the Synth Designer. Short So Synthy is the name of it. I think I might have made this preset. Let's see what this thing's doing. A whole lot of nothing. I hate when weird stuff happens when you're doing a demo walkthrough. It's such a bummer. Okay, so I guess we're not using that part. So we're going to check out this other section to see all the other things that are going on to make this piece sound cool, hopefully. And, the vibe here is, I don't know, modern film score, Blade Runner-esque meets, I don't know, pick one. Instead of using real strings, I'm trying to use synth strings, somewhere in the last, 3 to 5 years. And now people are still using this. I know everybody's like watched and listened to Stranger Things. There's a lot of this stuff happening in TV and in film. And that's kind of what the demo is based around, that idea. So there's this cool line going on here. Let's play that again. Filter, no filter, filter again. So it's a little like lead line that kind of pushes it along in this section. Then it gets into the part that I like the most. It's kind of sinister and a little evil. Let's see what we got going on here. Another arpeggiated synth part. Yep. So that's using this J2, sorry, blind again. Synth orchestra. I don't know, I think it's kind of a cool sound. It's just modulating. And there's a lot of other stuff going on here. Stuff is starting to build underneath. Up here, we have some brassy stuff happening. Synth brass. Cool, kind of ballsy, low-end, fat synth. And I have a habit of saving out of paranoia of crashing. Sometimes it's a long save. That wasn't bad. Okay, so that's going on, and then I brought in a little motion in addition to the synth from NOVO, which is the violin spiccato part and viola spiccatos. Let's listen to these two together. And with the synth. Some drums. So that's most of the picture. There's a synth part that wasn't in, which happens kind of on the second half of this at 38. I need some glasses. Some bass action. Where is that coming from? There it is. Synth designer again for the win. Come on, open up. And cycle. That's creating the 16th. Otherwise, it's just a sustained synth part. So I did that again, like, you know, the same way that I showed you earlier on with that other part. Steps, 16 steps. You know, the attack is pretty short. The release is very short. You just get this cool kind of pushing ahead bass. Now to complement that, you probably know we recently released our big brass product, Forzo, which is one of my faves. Why not use it? This is cinematic-ish, so we have these big brass events here. little bit of that loop from the intro. Just feather it in and tail it out. So that's the piece. That's what's going on. I know I didn't get super in-depth to every little piece of what is happening, but feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. I'll play it from the top one more time, since why not? I'll click through some of the presets. That's it, in a nutshell. Cool. Well, check this product out. It's definitely fun, a lot of fun, and it adds a really cool layer to organic strings. I love synth stuff. It's just fun to play with. So anyway, thank you for checking out my demo walkthrough. It's good to see everybody again. Enjoy this. Check it out. If you have any comments, like I said, leave them in the bottom. Try to be nice. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in. See you later.